over the next 50-55 minutes, we are going to look at a very important phenomena, which is grief. Every one of us, as a human being, faces loss. Inevitable. I remember when I was in my 20s, I didn't know of too many people who were dying. But as I get into my 50s, I know of a lot of people who are dying. And so there are friends of mine, especially COVID. I was scared to look at Facebook. Because if I saw a photo on Facebook, I'm like, oh my God, he's also gone. It was at that level. It was actually very scary. I still remember we all went through that fear pandemic. When we have grief, I think one of the most important things is to realize it is real. It is not a figment of imagination. Because often in society, everybody wants to have this stiff upper lip. Don't show your emotions, and you should get over it. And this whole thing of get over it is actually the worst thing we can do when somebody is in grief. So we need to first of all acknowledge grief is real. Because without acknowledging that grief is real, you cannot do anything about it. And this is where, when you acknowledge it is real, we acknowledge that it is an individual's experience. No matter how many randomized controlled trials we do, each individual's experience of grief is unique to them. So you cannot say, according to statistics, in 6 weeks plus or minus 1, you should be back to normal. This is how we approach these issues. And these issues, for somebody it may be 6 months, because now in the latest DSM criteria and all, if you have grief for more than, I think, 6 months or something, it becomes pathological. And I'm like, seriously? Somebody may have grief for the whole life. Somebody may have it for a few weeks, somebody for a few months. So let us not standardize the human being. This is very important. So acknowledge grief. Let the person express the experience of grief. Because grief, as a friend of mine who does a lot of work in South America with grief, he experienced grief as a physical phenomenon. Not just psychic, the body was actually going through grief. And there were bodily symptoms, not just up in your head, which is how we think of grief. There were actual bodily symptoms that were associated. And this is why we need to deal with this experience with respect, dignity, compassion, empathy. For me, the word sympathy is a negative word. I prefer empathy. Because sympathy is like, I feel sorry for you, but thank God it's not me. Empathy is, I am in your soul. Souls, not shoes. I am in your souls. Because shoes can be discarded, souls are attached to you. So I replace that, I'm not in your shoes, I'm in your souls. And soul, S-O-U-L and S-O-L-E. We have to help the person experience the grief, use grief as a learning board, where grief becomes an experience of transformation. Not one that bogs you down, not one that destroys you, not one that kills you, but one that transforms you as a human being. And this is why yoga is a science of transformation and a science of transcendence. 2 T's, I say yoga is 2 T's, and there's no T in YOGA. There are 2 T's. Transformational and transcendence. That is the goal of yoga. And if your yoga practice is not transforming you as an individual, you should question whether it is yoga in the first place. It may be gymnastics. Is it helping you transcend your limited individuality and understand the bigger picture? Then it is yoga. If it doesn't do that, it is again physical exercise. So with this introductory remark, Sangeeta is going to share some very, very interesting practices. And before that, I think a personal anecdote.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, there's a personal anecdote. And also, we will do a little bit of warming of the neck, because oftentimes grief blends in this area of the neck. So those of you who want to sit can sit on the floor, and those of you who want to sit on the chair can sit on the chair. So I had a very interesting experience when I was living in the United States. I went there in 1998, and then I was there for 9/11. And the experience of 9/11 had a very profound impact for obvious reasons, but particularly for the sound aspect of it. So I'm not going to go into the politics of it at all. That's not why I'm bringing it up. Why I'm bringing it up is the acoustic experience that I had, okay? Because the sounds were deafening. The sound of the buildings, the sound of then the ambulances and the firefighters, and just the sound of the voices of people moving, because I was fairly close to the site. And what it did, and this is why I'm bringing it up here for the grief session, is that the grief that I felt drowned me into a complete lack of sound. And I'm constantly listening to music, making music, talking, learning, you know. I was paralyzed inside. I couldn't listen, I couldn't speak. And it took me a while to just come out of this experience. And the feeling of grief as something that paralyzes is very important to me, because that is where isolation also comes. Sometimes when we are experiencing grief, really we want just people to be next to us, not so much we don't want to talk about it. We don't want people to console us, because we are in that space where there's no apparent movement of vibration at all. And it is a sacred space, because life is what it is. It's not, as Sir was saying this morning, you know, it's a wave. But in those moments, it's a sunken feeling. And there's this dropping into a space of almost apparent complete immobility. So working on the breath at those times when the person is ready, or if we're close to people who are experiencing that, only when they're ready, it's, to me, what got me out of it. You know, I had all of these practices. I was studying sound healing in New York. I was in theater. I had all these exercises. I had like a manuals of things. Nothing, I couldn't touch anything. I couldn't think of anything. Nothing at all. So the only thing that I could do, in fact, was to actually come out of that state of immobility by listening, because that's where the blockage had happened for me. I just couldn't listen to the sounds anymore. So grief began to manifest somatically through sound for me. And so I started listening, and I heard, under all of the noise, a hum. I wasn't looking for it. I wasn't like, oh no, there's Om in the grief and I should listen to the Om. No, it was just a low, 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 low pitch hum. And that was something that I was able to anchor my breath to. And I started to just inhale a little bit, and then exhale a little bit, and then inhale, and then exhale. And that's really what it was. And slowly begin to then build into a longer inhale, longer exhale, and then the held breaths. 3 months later, the held breaths. But the humming the hum never went away. And I was able to listen to it. So I am not surprised that all the way from Italy, because Sir and I talk about this a lot, it's like, what are the odds? Why? Why not, of course, also, right? But why? You know, I was a heavy metal singer. I have pictures to prove it. Big perm, leather jackets. That's look kind of nice. So why
look nice photos, okay.
So no, look at this Sukkhastanam here. What is it about it? I mean, sometimes we look at each other, and then we did not plan the outfit. We didn't.
What is the uniform?
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it was also very much in line with it should be. Okay. So anyway, so all of this to say that the nada yoga, this sometimes, and today we'll be sharing a bhajan from the parampara of Swami Gitananda and Dr. Ananda, but sometimes just the capacity to listen to what is there and find a connection with the divine is enough. You know, but there needs to be a predisposition. So practicing when we're well helps us then to allow that seed to flower when we're not ready. Okay, so, you know, there are these questions, and I'm sorry that I'm sorry, you know, because we do the practices and then I don't tell you, do this 3 times a day, 4 times a day, like I never mentioned any. So, of course, you're always asking the same question because I don't mention it. But why don't we mention it? Because right now when I'm talking, I am aware of my breath. Right? Because then when you practice, why you practice? So that you don't have to practice. Like a pianist, you practice. How much time you practice? As much time as you can. That's the answer. If you have 2 minutes, 2 minutes. If you have 3 hours, 3 hours. If you can do it sitting, do it sitting. If you can stand, that's it. And then of course, you know, then you practice, and then at some point, like Sir, when Sir is singing, he's, somewhere else. He's not like...
I escape the audience.
If you go there and you're like, when he's singing, you go there like, Dr. Ananda, there's a call. He's like, there's no Dr. Ananda. He's Ananda, but not Dr. Ananda. That's what it is. So, but all of this, why the grief then? The grief because that breath is enough. So, you know, how do we help our parents? How do we help our friends in grief? We practice ourselves and we find out where we hold the resistance. Where we hold the resistance, there can go the breath. So it's the shoulder, it's the shoulder. If it's a relationship, it's in the relationship. If it's a relationship of grabbing food, then a breath before grabbing the food. If I'm rushing for the phone, a breath before. That's the practice. For me, of course, you know, that's just me. So we thought about then having this work on the neck, because the second aspect of listening, humming, nod, much practices revolve around this area of the neck, the throat, the ears, the mouth. And grief has a lot of sediments in the neck area, and a lot of vulnerability in an area that is already vulnerable. But especially if I close off, or, you know, in grief we feel like we have we can't breathe, we can't eat. There's like how do you call it? Like a block, a choking feeling. You want to cry, but you can't cry.
Lump in the throat.
A lump in the throat. Or you can't stop crying. You know, all of the things revolve with this purification of Vishuddhi. So we have this mudra. We have a Shoka mudra and Ashoka mudra, but perhaps we'll just do one maybe. And
you know, the Shoka basically comes from sorrow. And the Ashoka mudra is to move from sorrow. And so here we use the movement of the head with the breath. And so this is a way that you are bringing the body to influence the mind. So you are using the soma to influence the psyche. Normally we talk about psychosomatics, but most yoga practices, the mechanisms are somatopsychic. You use the body to influence the mind, that will then influence the body. Like when we talk about neuroplasticity, we say use your mind to change your brain, to change your mind for the better. Same type of thing, you use what you have. So we have our neck, we have the breath, and when we use it, we start to create a positivity in the mind that then can come down to the body. So this is a very useful practice, because when people are in sorrow, when people are in crisis, a lot of neck rolling will be seen. It's a very typical phenomena if you go to our villages, and when there are deaths in the village, you see all the people sit around, and there's a lot of this head rolling and the crying. It is part of the grief expression. And this becomes a practice in yoga, where you are not in grief, but you are doing it to make sure that you can overcome the grief. That is why shoka to ashoka, or shoka to vishoka. That is the movement that is being taken.
So, because we are not aware of the health of your neck, we're going to do a modification, and with the shoka, what we're doing, we'll do some warm-up for the neck first, but those are easy. But for this one, particularly for the mudra, what we're doing is that we're inhaling, so just look for a second. So I'm going to go slowly on counts of 6, and I'm going to bring the chin towards the shoulder, but no much further than that. And it needs to be here on a line. So we'll warm up the neck first. So we're going to inhale, going up the right, and as we exhale, we're going to whoosh and come back down. So we'll warm up the neck first. This is the first part, right? And then we'll do 3 times on the right, and then 3 times on the left. So of course, take care of yourself. You know what you have experienced around your neck and your throat. If you need to go slower like this, go slower, don't rush it. Generally, what we should be able to do is to have an interplay with gravity. Gravity really make you go down like that and release. And the heaviness of the head, however, may be a lot of weight for your neck. So you'll need to figure out where that is for you, okay? So to warm up the neck first, inhale and let it out. Again, inhale and now clasp. And one more time, now raise the hand up over the head. Good. Then the Mayuri, the peacock, forward, open your mouth, forward, forward, not back, come forward, yeah, and then back. Good, forward, and back. And forward, yeah, working this area of the spine that we rarely work with, right? In, back. And one more, forward, and back. Now, very gently going towards the right, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back, coming back to the center, again forward and back, forward and back, forward and back, moving towards the left, forward and back, stretch it, forward, good job everybody, go and back, and coming back to the center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good. Now imagine that you have a pillow behind you and that you want to push it back like this. Yeah. So same thing but going backwards. Keep your elbows closer to your face so that they're not in your neighbor's nose. Okay, to the right, right back, back back, left back. Yes, imagine you're pushing from here, from these bones here, you're pushing back. Yeah, again, right back, center back, left back. Good job, relax. Shake your head. Those of you who are digesting, this is very good for you. Do it twice more than the others. Good. Now imagine you have a pencil under your chin. That would be nice, right? Pencil under the chin. And you're going to draw the infinity symbol that so skillfully the team has designed as the cross-legged of the practitioner. So let's go forward and back. Symbol 8 or number 8, infinity symbol on the floor. So you're just moving, correct. Relax your mouth. You don't need to have your lips tight at all. Everybody's going at their own speed. Don't compare with another person. Okay, and then reverse the circle if you were going in one direction. Now the circle can be also very small or very big. It's up to you. Use the breath. Don't hold the breath. Good job. And then one big circle. And other side, 1 or 2 big circles. Very nice. Shoulders back, chin forward. Shoulders forward, chin back. Chin forward, shoulders back. Good. Shoulders forward, chin back. Last one, chin forward, shoulders back. Chin back, shoulders forward. Yes, give it a nice shake. Shake your head. Catch some stuff that may be coming up. Maybe. And then inhale with your nose. Out the mouth. Well, okay. And then the last one now, we're going to roll the head. So bring the chin down and towards the right. Inhale and roll the head up slowly, 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 slowly. And then exhale and roll the head down. Slowly, please, everybody slow down. Inhale, roll the head up. Exhale, roll the head down. Third time, inhale up. Exhale down. Inverting the direction, we're going to rise up towards the left, inhale and back. Exhale down the right. Inhale up the left. Relax your mouth. Exhale out your right. And then last one, up the left and down the right. Very nice. Come back to the center. Right ear towards the right shoulder. Now for those of you who would like a little extra stretch, you can find your left hand, find it. Thank you. Place it behind your back, just like this. You can catch hold of this. You know, you're sitting on the chair, so it's just whatever, so that you can have more of a stretch here, if you need. Relax your lips, relax your eyes. Breathe. Now slowly bring the arm forward on your lap, step by step. And on an inhale, slowly bring the neck up, and do not move the neck here. Do not adjust your hair, do not do anything. Just stay here and feel what's here. Relax everything. Inhale here, and on the exhale, bring the left ear towards the left shoulder. Find your right hand if you need to, and you can give it a little extra stretch. Or not, it's up to you. Relax your lips, relax your mind. If you have a lot of thoughts that are racing, just imagine that the breath is creating some space between them. It's a metaphor, of course, but release the hand, bring it back forward. On the next inhale, come up. And then now, feel free to move the head as you like. And move the shoulders, move your head as you like. Adjust if you need to. You can also massage your neck a bit. And also massage the area of the jaw. You can open the mouth and the teeth. Create some space so you can massage in there, the muscle. Yeah, that one. All the way here to the root of the earlobe. Yes, so grief will also be here a lot sometimes, right? and a lot of holding of the muscles tight here. Okay, very good. And relax. So let's try this. We're going to inhale 6. I recommend you, for the first one, you keep your eyes open, just to see where you are and not get dizzy, okay? Ready? Exhale the air out, breathe out. Breathe in towards the right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoosh down. Again, same side, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And one more time, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale and come to the center. Just align your body and observe, witness yourself. And then exhale and bring the chin towards the sternum. And going towards the left, inhale, come up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the next inhalation, come back to the center. And we're moving into the Ashoka Mudra. The Ashoka Mudra is a very interesting mudra because it actually works a bit like homeopathy in the sense that it asks you to really contract and feel the tension, feel it, and then release it. So we're going to exhale and bring the chin towards the sternum. And here, tighten your neck, tighten all of your muscles. Inhale. And release here. Then come on up. Open your eyes for a moment. This is slightly different because what we'll do is that from this position here, we're going to inhale. And while holding the breath and tensing everything, we're going to do a full round. And leave it. Yes? Okay, got it? Yeah? Okay. So come down here. Exhale the air out to begin. Take a deep breath in and tense as much as you can. And then roll your head all the way around carefully. And then come all the way down. Again, inhale here, same side. Tense, tense. Roll. I already feel what's happening, oxygenated blood in this area. And one more time, inhale here. Tense, tense, tense. Roll. Good. Coughing is a good expeller of toxins, so don't feel bad about it. Come back to the center and observe what's happening. Both. We're going to go to the left, same thing, same practice 3 times. Come down, exhale. Inhale, tighten everything. The mind too. Roll. Tighten your thoughts too, tighten everything. Inhale. Emotions, everything. Roll. Last one, inhale. And then take a deep breath, come back to the center. Try to calm down. The release will manifest in a lot of different ways. See if you can bring the chin slightly in, and by bringing the chin in, imagine there's a golden thread pulling your head up, allowing this whole area of the neck to be more elongated and free. And then realize that the vocal cords that are more or less parallel to the diaphragm and to the pelvic floor are exactly at the center of this area. So every time we cannot speak our truth, when we cannot express ourselves, when our credit is stolen by someone else, when we can't pursue our dreams, when we are betrayed, when of course grief will be manifesting here. When we're not heard, when we can't stand hearing a person for one more word. And all of this, of course, is passing through the ears and the mind and the voice and through the cords that are very, very susceptible to our emotional state and therefore to grief too. So see if you can relax your vocal cords by inhaling and exhaling for just this time with your mouth open, with no sound at all. Don't make any sound. Just inhale and exhale with your mouth open. And you should be able to feel some freshness. Do you feel some freshness? You feel a little fresh sensation? Those are the vocal cords. That's what's perceiving the freshness. So relax your vocal cords too. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Wow. It's astonishing how much this opens up things that you think you have forgotten about. I was getting thoughts, I'm like, where did they come from? So it's interesting that, you do these practices, you clear out, and then always something comes in. I was like, seriously, that was many years ago. But it's interesting how it comes, and again, what is important is when thoughts come up, when feelings come up, acknowledge them and release them. Don't deny them. The biggest danger is the denial. That's wrong, and don't judge it. My mother used to say, observe yourself without identification, without condemnation, and without justification. Because if you can observe what are your thoughts that come up when you do these practices, what are the emotions that come up, what are the feelings that come up, acknowledge it, but don't identify to it. Again, don't condemn it. This is bad. That is not socially acceptable. This is not what I should be. This is not how our family is. The usual. Don't get into that. And then don't try to justify it. I am like this because of her, him, them, my parents, my children, society. And just observe without identification, without condemnation, and without justification. This is very important. See, the fact that you're expressing it itself is the beginning of transformation.
Yes.
When you can express it, when you can vocalize it, as Sangeeta was saying, the vocalization of the grief experience is very important. So the fact that in front of so many people, you have expressed it is a moment of transformation. And again, no condemnation, no justification. Because what we need to realize as a human being is we are one pixel in zillions of pixels of this universe. We are not the master of all the pixels. And just as that one pixel cannot determine what the other pixels choose to do, we cannot choose we can only strive to do our dharma to the best of our ability and to let go. What you are going through is an experience of exactly what this practice has brought up.
Yeah.
And you have started the journey of transformation. And as a human being, I think one of the biggest drawbacks is our feeling of regret. Because regret doesn't actually change anything. It doesn't change. But to acknowledge it and say, what can I do now to honor his memory? As his daughter today, in this moment, what can you do to honor his memory? And again, a question I asked my father when I'm at his samadhi, I say, may I live in a way that makes you proud of me, and may I be worthy of your blessings. That's all I can ask. Because we are not Superman. We are not Superwoman to save the planet. And many factors are beyond our control. So to acknowledge it, express it, and today may be a day of transformational journey for you, and honor his memory. That is the way we can take it forward. Honor the memory of our loved ones. Because then they are immortal. The physical body is mortal, but the memories are immortal. And how we honor them is our tribute to them. So thank you for expressing something in a moment of vulnerability. He will be very proud of you. Indeed.
But life and death are not in our hands, no?
Absolutely.
We can only come to terms.
Ultimately, change occurs with acceptance. And there are so many, when we are faced with life and death situations, denial is the first human response. From denial, then comes anger. After anger, depression. Sometimes there's negotiation. And then finally you come to acceptance, and it is only when you accept that you can change. It is in that moment of acceptance that transformation occurs. And to accept that we are a pixel in a zillion pixels, and to just continue to do what we can to honor the memory of our loved ones. This is so important. Now, everyone cannot build a statue. Everyone may not be able to start an endowment in somebody's name. But can you every day think of that person and do something that they would have loved to have done? Can you do that? Then you fulfill that what we call Atma Shanti. Can you live as they would have liked to see you live? That is the tribute we pay to our loved ones. We were going to do a breathing practice, but I think it will take too much time. We'll build it into one of the sessions tomorrow. But I wanted Sangeeta to lead us in a very nice sing and response bhajan, where the energy of transformation, we all are bound by inertia, tamasika guna. And whenever inertia is there, you need a kick force to get things moving. Newton's law of motion says everybody continues to stay in its state of rest, a constant motion, until and unless acted upon by an external force. What is that force? Well, Indian culture calls it Ganesha. And most of us are so stagnant, we need a huge kick. And so he is a huge elephantine energy. You can see how the iconography is energy. An energy to kick-start our transformational journey. And we have these pixels of energy which are called the ganas. And I often say in New Zealand they have elves who do naughty things. It's like Santa Claus and all his helpers. And you have all these elves, the ganas are like that. They are small energies, they don't know what to do. And so they all have to be channelized so that they can help you move forward, help you do the right thing. Because otherwise they become an obstacle to your movement. And that is why Ganesha, my mother would say, is the obstacle to obstacles. Vigna Raja. And this is not, Ganesha and what he does and holding a motaka. No, I'm not talking that. I'm talking of the energy. So when you want to move forward, you have been stuck in your grief. You have been frozen, as Sangeeta mentioned. She said she felt frozen. Because freeze is part of the stress response. And today there's a polyvagal theory, I'm not going to go into that, where they talk of the ventral vagus and the dorsal vagus. And the dorsal vagus pushes you into freeze. When you are in a crisis, do nothing. Now that's fine when you're a small mouse. But when you're human, doing nothing doesn't solve the problem. And that is where we want to move from the dorsal to the ventral vagus. We want to have this contact with others, exchange with others, interact with others. Which is why in the process of grief, relationships play a key role. Never forget, relationships play a key role. And so, how do we bring this energy? Well, you can sing and evoke that energy. Ganesha Sharanam, Sharanam Ganesha. That energy is huge. Because somebody like me needs a good kick in the butt to move forward, right? So you need a huge Ganesha. Mahesha, Mahayesha, Mahesha Sharanam. And he is also a maternal energy, a paternal, an energy that is nourishing us. Sayesha Sharanam. And also, he is a Yogesha Sharanam, helping us unite all the pieces. So we have fallen to pieces. He is helping us to unite all the pieces. So yes, Sangeeta. Something what does a kid want from the parent? They want support, they want love, they want nourishment. And then what is a parent supposed to do? Help the child grow as they should. That is parent. And that is what this energy does. It helps us grow into what we are to be. So yes, do we have the Tampura?
I also was thinking about...
You see, she came prepared.
I also was thinking about boredom. Boredom seems to be a word that the youth uses a lot, and therefore excuses abusing the phone. And I am a kid in that sense also. But so there's a level of boredom in grief that comes where you don't know what to do with yourself. You don't have a zest for life. You mentioned this earlier. So Ganesha is never bored.
He's dancing on this.
Yes. So on the topic of dancing, so Dr. Ananda once really described the bhajans beautifully in saying that they help enhance social catharsis. I think it's a beautiful expression really, because catharsis is the place of grief where you make the transformation. That's what catharsis was in the Greek theater. Greek theater, had all of these tragedies, and in the worst possible moment, the catharsis happened. Not when they were on the beach, having a stroll. So grief, in a sense, seems to be part of life in a very strange way, where it teaches us how to overcome itself. Very interesting process. So please feel welcome to move. If you're clapping your hands, make sure that you're not following the rhythm. Sometimes it happens. But these are pretty loud. That's why I brought the big ones. So feel happy to move. And it's not a singing competition. And it's not a performance, in the sense that it's okay to come as you are. Wonderful. So it's a call and response. in the sense that I will be calling. Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha
Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha.
Well, okay. We don't need, sir, we can actually really go. I think they're just got everything. They're pretending they don't know anything.
No, they're well trained.
They're just like, they're gonna give us an exam before we go. I'm gonna sit here. Okay. Ganesha, Mahesha, Lingesha, Saisha, Yogesha, or more or less in this order. Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha.
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 Sayesha Sharanam Sharanam Sayesha.
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 Yogesha Sharanam Sharanam Yogesha.
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 Sharanam Ganesha.
Sharanam Ganesha.
Sharanam Mahesha.
Sharanam Mahesha.
Sharanam Yogesha.
Sharanam Yogesha.
Sharanam Vignesha.
Sharanam Vignesha.
Sharanam Sayesha.
Sharanam Sayesha.
Sharanam Mahesha.
Sharanam Mahesha.
Together. Sharanam Ganesha.
Sharanam Ganesha. That was actually nice. You're all so well trained. It's just amazing. Now, one of the very beautiful chants of our culture, again, chant is not really a good translation of mantra. Incantation is a better word, because you are invoking. The power of mantra is invoking, because you want to invoke, to evoke in yourself. And this is why when we chant, for example, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. It is not just, it's not the same as peace, peace, peace. It's not. And people say, oh yeah, peace, the problem with the word peace is it sounds like pieces. And so it is an explosive sound. Pa. The pakara is an explosive sound. So even the word peace, no wonder humankind has gone to war for peace. And you can never get peace through war. And that is why Shantam is a soothing sound. When the baby is crying, shh, shh, you don't go, peace. Pa, pa. So let's chant a few rounds of this together. A very good way to bring to a close a wonderful day with all of you. And of course, we have the evening session. But let's all just chant together. You can keep the tampura going. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. You are just an amazing team. Oh my God. We will pack you all up and take you wherever we go. Then it's not called kidnapping. It's called touring. But just amazing. The vibration that was coming through, you know, that beauty of the symphony of individuals becoming a collective. This is the harmony we need in society. This is the harmony we need in this world. We are all individuals, we are all different, but we become that wholesome experience of oneness. Thank you.